Hey guys, it's Noel here. Welcome along to today's video. I have got a fantastic video today for you, talking all about air traffic control. So guys, you remember that a few weeks ago I did a little video all about LiveATC, and LiveATC is a fantastic website for listening to air traffic control from all around the world. Unfortunately, LiveATC does have its restrictions, and one of those is that you can't actually listen to air traffic control from the UK or from various other countries around the world where LiveATC is not available. Fortunately though, that's not the end of the world. There are some fantastic websites out there that allow you to listen to air traffic control transmissions from those countries, listen to them online, and with a little bit of trickery you can record them and use them in your videos as well. So the website I'm going to show you today is called GlobalTuners, and it is a fantastic aviation or radio website for radio enthusiasts all around the world, and it differs from LiveATC in that it gives you a lot more control over what it is you're listening to. If you're listening to a receiver and you want to change the frequency, within reason you can go ahead and do that, and I'm going to show you today all about GlobalTuners and how I use it to get the air traffic control for my videos. So guys, here is the website. This is globaltuners.com. I will put a link to this in the description of the video so you'll be able to see it and hopefully go straight through to it. You have to sign up for an account with GlobalTuners and log into the account. It's quite straightforward to do. It's free of charge. All you have to do is just register, and then you have to wait for your account to be activated. Once that's been done, you can log in and access all of the radio receivers that are on the website. Once you log in, you actually get to the screen here, which is a list of all of the receivers that are currently online. These do go up and down a little bit. There's a few that are always on, I notice, and there are some that seem to come and go, bearing in mind that these are most of the time hosted by people, individuals in houses around the country that sometimes have computer issues, their computers die and things, very much like LiveATC in that respect, but you do find that they do tend to come and go sometimes. Now, my personal favourite receiver that is on here, if we look down to the UK here, you can see there are receivers across the UK: Bedford, Glasgow, London, Newcastle, Manchester, Nottinghamshire, Northern Ireland, Norwich. Loads of receivers that you can access them and tune into different airports all around the UK. Once you've actually been on GlobalTuners for a while, you'll probably start to learn and remember what they actually mean. Clearly, London West is not, even though that picks up Heathrow Airport, it is not listed as Heathrow Airport on here. The same for Glasgow as well, although there's a little bit of a hint where it says Glasgow and a Scottish control on there too. So if we go ahead and tune in, first of all, into London West, which is the receiver that generally picks up Heathrow Airport, Heathrow Approach, London Control in that sort of area as well. Then you see we get to this screen here, and we can just hit open this receiver and hit the I understand button, and I'll talk to you about that in just a moment. But here we go, we are now listening to Heathrow Airport Approach in London. Now, one of the things to mention to you regarding this is that it is very much a community-based website, and if you look over here on the right hand side of the screen, you can see all of these people here are other users that are currently listening to this receiver. And you have to be very careful with it, because if you just go in and start retuning the radio, people aren't going to be very happy with you, and it's actually against the rules of GlobalTuners to just go in and start randomly retuning. So it is something that you need to take great care with, and people do get annoyed when you start changing it, as I've found in the past. So all you have to do is just drop a little quick message here in the chat box to the people that are on the stream and say, can I have control of the receiver for a little bit? And 9 times out of 10 people will say yes, that's fine, and allow you to go ahead and tune. And if you want to retune, you can just hit the frequency in the box here, so 118.5 for example, which is Heathrow Tower. Hit enter and you'll be able to listen to that. I'm not actually going to change that now because these people are clearly listening to Heathrow Approach for something, and I'm not going to go and start changing that. And so that's basically how that works. You can control all the other aspects of the receiver up here as well, the squelch for example, and all the other options that you'd have on standard airband receiver. So there's an Aer Lingus flight on the approach into Heathrow at the moment, so I'm talking to Heathrow Approach.
Indonesia 086, maintain flight level 801, reaching, report your aircraft type, information is kilo.
Indonesia 06, descend to flight level 80 and information kilo.
Indonesia 086, report your aircraft type and expedite your descent, please.
Indonesia 06, aircraft type Boeing 777 and rate of descent is 1,100 feet per minute.
Thank you, increase that please.
Greeting, Indonesia 06.
So there we go, and that's a little transmission. You will hear that all day long if you listen to GlobalTuners long enough, just an aircraft checking in with approach in London to listen to Heathrow. If you know air traffic control, you've probably heard all that before, but it's always interesting to be able to listen to it online from a different part of the world as well. And if we go back here as well, you can see that there are numerous other receivers. If we go up to Glasgow, for example, we can hit open this receiver and listen to Glasgow Airport. And at the moment we're listening to Glasgow approach. There's probably not much happening on a Sunday afternoon up in Glasgow. If you're listening to Heathrow Airport as well, it's worth pointing out there are two receivers that pick up Heathrow Airport. There is London West and West London. They are obviously the same place, the same guy hosts both of those websites. London West is the one that is tunable. You can log on and change the frequency to London Control, Heathrow Approach, any one of Heathrow's 4 approach frequencies, etc, etc. And if you go to West London, you'll find that it is tuned to Heathrow Director, which is the frequency that the aircraft basically get vectors for the ILS approach on this frequency, and this is running all of the time tuned to 120.4, which is Heathrow Director. So you can listen to all of those on here. I have been quite addicted to this, and there are times where I'll just sit and listen to Heathrow approach for hours on end because it's such an interesting thing to listen to, really. Have it on in the background or something. It's a great website and it allows you to listen to all of these tuners from all around the world. I can go through some of the UK receivers here and tell you what they are. Bedford is usually tuned to London Control. Glasgow and Scottish Control, self-evident, as is London West. Newcastle upon Tyne, that picks up Newcastle approach. North Manchester picks up Manchester and Leeds. North Nottinghamshire gets the overhead traffic, the London Control and Scottish Control, which fly overhead North Nottinghamshire, and Northern Ireland picks up things like Belfast Airport as well. Norwich is another London Control one as well. You can listen to all of these through GlobalTuners. It's such a great website for listening to all these different air traffic control feeds. An area that GlobalTuners doesn't quite do as well as LiveATC, something that is slightly different. LiveATC gives you the ability to download and listen to the audio archives for up to 30 days, which is fantastic. If I take a flight through a LiveATC airport, I can go in any time up to a month later, download the MP3 file of the air traffic control from a date and time, and then just overlay it onto my video. Unfortunately, GlobalTuners doesn't have this ability to do this, but there are a couple of workarounds if you want to listen to air traffic control and overlay it onto your video. So first of all, I'll just point out, if we go to London West again, or let's pick Glasgow Control because we might actually hear something then, and you go to open this receiver and say I understand, and there is actually an audio recorder button here. If you hit that, then you can start an audio recording. We'll hit that button there, and it will start recording, and it tells you the file size, and it lets you go in any time after that and download that. It's fantastic. There is a slight problem though, and that is that in my experience this will only actually record for up to about 10 minutes of duration, which is fine if you just want to hear something quickly and listen to it. If you don't, if you want to have like a whole day of air traffic control ahead of you taking a flight or something, this is not going to work. Here we go.
South 340, just passing flight level 80 for flight level 70. We have information, correction information, Charlie.
August 79 Echo Sierra Glasgow radar, good afternoon. Vectors for ILS approach to runway 23 with information, Charlie. You know, between traffic, turn right, radar heading 215.
Turn right heading 215, Logan 7 in Exeter.
So there you go, there is an example. That's a Logan Air flight calling up to Glasgow radar. We can actually go in here to the file we've just recorded, hit play.
August 79 Echo Sierra 27 miles from touchdown, left and 12 G6 out for big QNH1024.
And it lets you download the recording and everything there if you want to do that.
For ILS approach to runway 23 with information, Charlie.
If I've got established 5 miles, 76 Tango Hotel.
8076 Tango Hotel, range checks, contact tower 118.8, Belly.
And if you wanted to tune over to 118.8 to listen to him on tower, you could just ask for permission to tune and then hit the enter frequency button here. So put in the frequency you want to tune to and then pick up that aircraft on the tower frequency as well. It's fantastic. It allows you to do all that sort of thing on here too. Now, if you want to record just one little piece like that, then that's fine using the inbuilt recording method there. Unfortunately, like I said, it only seems to work for up to 10 minutes, but there are other options available. Now, one of them is an app that I will show you now. This is one that I use all the time, and it's called SoundTap Streaming Audio Recorder. And what this will do is allow you to basically record any audio feed that's coming into your computer. So if we open the Glasgow radar again and start listening to that, I can hit the start recording button, and as soon as somebody starts talking on here as well, you'll see the bar go up and down, and it will start recording it to a file. I'm actually saving it onto a hard drive I have here, and you can then go ahead and download that once you finish with it. What I'll generally do with this is open this.
79 Echo Sierra, turn right heading 260 degrees,
doing that there
on the left report established.
Audio feed.
Right heading 260 degrees, quick mode position right, port established, looking 79 Echo.
So what I will do generally if I want to record that while I am actually away flying is I will remote desktop or team viewer into this PC from wherever I am on my phone. I can just load up a Glasgow control, for example, load up SoundTap and hit the start recording button, and there we go, it will start recording the entire flight ahead of me taking the flight, which is a great way of doing it. It's a little bit clunky, it's not as easy as going and getting a nice half-hour chunk and you end up with hours of audio recording that you probably don't really need, but it is certainly a great way of getting in it should you need that. If you remember my flight on Loganair on the Twin Otter up to Barra from Glasgow, where we ended up getting diverted back to Glasgow, we were with Glasgow Approach for most of that flight, and I was able to just log in here and just record all of the air traffic control from my PC using my phone by remote controlling my PC to start recording that. There's probably other ways of doing it as well, but for me I find that the easiest, most reliable way of doing it to get a nice big file as well. So guys, I hope you found this video useful, and I hope it's given you a great introduction to GlobalTuners and how you can listen to it and how you can use this website to listen to air traffic control from all around the world. You don't have to be an aviation geek to like it. There are ham radio enthusiasts that use this site for all the different receivers. You can listen to all sorts of other different traffic from around the world. I only use it for the airband stuff because it's just so convenient to listen to British air traffic control over the internet. You can listen to anything you want really from any of these receivers. You can even just pick up FM radio if that's what you want to do. A lot of people do that for some reason, but it is a great website really for listening to air traffic control. And like I said, if you can fire up Flight Radar 24 for example and watch the planes coming in as you're listening to the air traffic control online, it's a really addictive way of plane spotting effectively when you are in the house. So guys, I hope this video has been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed seeing GlobalTuners. I look forward to seeing you all on there in the chat, and when you all sign up for GlobalTuners hopefully and start using the receivers on there. If you've got any questions at all about GlobalTuners, please do not hesitate to drop me a comment in the comments section below. I will do my best to reply to every single one of them as much as I can. And if you want to check out GlobalTuners, the link is in the description. As I said before, it's just globaltuners.com, and also I'll stick a link in there to the SoundTap media recorder as well, so that you can listen to the audio, record the audio feeds that you're listening to. So guys, thank you once again for watching today's video. I really do hope that you have found this useful. If you would do me a favour and click on that subscribe button so that you can see all of my other videos as and when I release them. Also, if you can like, share, comment and everything else that you do that makes you such awesome fans of in-flight video, I really do appreciate it. Thank you once again guys, and I will speak to you soon.